hello, how are you? I got a little project for us today. A couple weeks back, we made, the little CD case. And I thought, well, if you don't have a CD case or if you want something smaller, let's design something a little bit smaller. So we did this. So it's sort of like a CD case, but it's not. And there's a couple of different ways to do the insert for this. So we're going to do it two different ways. And we're not going to use a circle. We're going to use something else today, okay? So I'm going to get out some supplies, and I'm going to give you some measurements. We're going to do some cutting, some inking, the standard stuff. I'll be back in just a minute. Hold on. Okay, supplies on this one. Dies, and a die cutting machine. Any shape you want. This can be, a punch. If you don't want to use die cuts, dies, you can do this. Also, if you're really skilled, an X-Acto knife, a paper trimmer, scissors, scoring tools, scoreboard, and scraps of paper that are at least 6 by 4 inches. Preferably cardstock. Okay? So we're going to do this two ways. I'm going to use one with a die cut and one with a punch, just so we can see how that works. And so we're going to go ahead and do some cutting real quick, and then, we'll do some scoring. So let's do one with regular cardstock. And we're going to cut this to 6 by 4. All right, 6 by 4. That's one thing I hate about this cutter. It doesn't have a 4 on it. I have to kind of guess. Okay. Got that. And we'll do one of these. 6. Hey, that one's about 6 by 4. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty close. And then for the inside cards, we need some pieces that are 3 1/4 by 2 7/8, and then one that's 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. It's because we're going to do that 2 different ways. Okay, so 3 1/4, 2 7/8. 2 7/8 is the mark just before the 3. And then one that's 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. Okay, so get the trimmer out of the way. Let me tell you what we're talking about here. So this one is 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, and this one is 2 7/8 by 3 1/4. Okay. Alrighty. So let's do this one first. So this one I'm going to use. I have one of these, little mini punchy boards. And on the longer side, I'm going to go ahead and just punch a little bit, like that. And then you can use your scissors, straight knife, your trimmer, whatever you want. And I'm just going to cut into the piece to the bottom of that arch. And that gives me that little pull. And then I can come in with my corner rounder. And I can round this. Let me get one that will fit a little better. Haha, there we go. Sometimes that gets in the way. And I can just round my corners. And I have a card. On the other one, I would just have to round the corners. I'll use the bigger one on this one. And then I can use just, you know, a scrap piece of paper and put a little tab on this, okay? So I'm just going to cut a little piece of this. Like that. I didn't have. And then just glue it on there. See, we're doing this the easy way. Ink. Ink would be good. We're doing this backwards, right? It's because this one is quick and easy, and I want to get this part out of the way because the other part's a little bit, you know, it's a little more difficult. All right, so we're going to stick that on there. Eyeball about middle. And that's pretty much it. Other than inking, our cards are done. All right, so we're going to get those out of the way. So now we move on to the next part, which is these. So on the along side, on the 6-inch side, we're going to just score it at 3. A couple of light, easy scores. Don't mash this, okay? Then we're going to turn it to the short side. We're going to score it at 1/2 inch. And then over here at 3 1/2. Yeah. Hills into valleys, valleys into hills. All right, we're going to do a little bit of cutting. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take off these little boxes. Okay? Doesn't matter which size. So, we're going to go up the score line. And when we get to that score line there, we're just going to kind of give it an angle. We're going to angle the top. Angle this one. And then we're going to take this one off. Okay, so it should look like this. I know, right? Okay, so now I'm going to get this scoreboard out of my way, and I'm going to cut the score the other one and get it cut down, and I'll be right back. All right, so we're going to be doing one of these using a die, and the other one using a punch. So let's get this die out of the way. So on the side that has the flaps, because that's the front, okay, we're going to go ahead and put our die on. We're going to cut that. I always like to cut twice. Now I'm going to save this. This is the positive. I'm going to save it because it's cool. I just wanted the negative, okay? Which is not, you know, it's just a circle, but it's got these bumps on it, which I think is kind of cool. Okay, so I got that. Let me get this out of the way, and then we'll go ahead and do the other one. Wait. All right, so for this one, again, on the side that has the little wings, we're going to go ahead and use a punch, and I'm going to use this one. This is a Stampin' Up! Punch. And I'm just going to get that about as centered as I can. And I'm going to punch that out. Again, I'm keeping that piece. See? Okay. All right, let me get this die put away real quick. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and you know, glue these up. If you want to put a finger notch in here because you're just putting in a straight card, that's okay. If you're just putting in a card that has a tab, then you don't need to put a finger punch, okay? So we're going to go ahead and fold these in. Hit them with the bone folder. A little bit of glue. Okay, now. If you're going to ink the center before you glue this down, okay? So if you want to put some ink on there, do that now, or forever hold your peace. There's a bear in the living room. Big old hubber bear. He's out there with his grandbaby. He's got his grandson. All right, then we're going to fold that up. And I'm going to set that aside to dry. Now we're going to bring the other one over. Again, if you're going to ink before you close it. Because if you close it, then it's going to be a pain in the butt to ink it. Okay, flaps in, burnish, flap in, burnish, glue. And you can use any shape, any die you want on this. Flaps in, back piece on, burnish, burnish. Let dry. All right, when I come back, we're going to put these together. And see what else is going on. I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're inking. I'm going to ink the cards that go inside. If you want to add a piece of white card to this, because this one is cardstock, so you may want to add a piece of white to the back. No big deal. 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. It'll fit on there perfectly, okay? I don't really care about the craft as far as I'm concerned. You can write on craft, so not a big deal. All right, get this one done. Oh, I should tell you, 2 7/8 by 2 5/8. Sorry, wrong number. Side. And then we're going to get these inked. I'm only going to ink the front because I'm going to put these, you know, I'm going to glue them in. So I'm not real worried about, you know, the backs. Did a pretty good job of getting that lined in there. It's a little off, a little cattywampus, but I can deal with that. All right, so now I have that. And these go in here. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna go ahead and glue it on this card. Just because I can. I don't have to, I just think it would be cool. I'm not even gonna make sure I line up the dots, man. I'm just doing it. And then this one, I'm gonna put in here. Now I can decorate these if I want to, or I can just, you know, if I make them just plain like this, I could just put this in my stash as a make-ahead and take it out when I need it. But if I want to decorate them, you know, I can decorate them like this one. You know, I just put a little thing in there. It doesn't matter. All right, so that's it. This is the original. It has 2 cards that go in here because I only made one. But you could certainly put, 2 different cards in there. You could put 3 in there if you really wanted to. If you use the file top, you could put 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here, and put 3 in there. That would look cute. But that's it. That's all I have for you today. If you're new here and you haven't done so already, hit the button for me. Subscribe. What the heck, right? Doesn't hurt. Of course, you're not going to get rich or anything like that. I'm not even going to get famous, but I'll be happy. What else? Check out my community tab. Go on over to my Facebook group. Links are in the description box below. Until I see you again, stay well, my friends. Bye.